Now, you may be asking, Stray Demon? I haven't even heard of him. How do you even get to this boss? Now, the Asylum, for a lot of players, is just this mysterious place that you start off in and you never go back to. But if you pay close attention here, there's a route in Firelink, and I'll show you how to get there. So pretty straightforward. We're going to be making our way up the elevator, and before the elevator goes all the way up, we're just going to be taking a little hop right off. And with that, our next step is going to be making it over to the ledge just in front of me there. Alright, so just a quick brisk jump, and you find your way you find your way pretty quickly to where you want to be, which is right where I am. This little staircase bringing you to where you want to be, which is up, 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 higher up, never stop going up. On the top of that roof there is a corpse there that usually has a ring, which is super useful. And, excuse me, no, it's actually a key. Excuse me, I forgot, it's a key. And that key will give you access to a ring in the Asylum. The ring being the rusted iron ring, which we're not going to be picking up. We're going to be going straight for the Asylum demon here, as well as going through and picking up the little doll that will allow us to enter the painted world of Ariamis. Now, a little bit about the commentary here is I've actually been struggling to record. A little bit of a small talk here. But I've actually been struggling a bit to record as I realized how different it is from streaming. You know, I really adore it. It's actually really fun. But there was that small part of me that was like, I'm not feeling it. And I remembered, I'm a streamer, you know, I do a lot of broadcasting on Twitch. It's what I love and what I have become good at. So recording for me is a very uncomfortable, very unfamiliar place. And so it's a really great experience, and I'm loving it. But it's very challenging to keep up on a weekly basis, especially when I have my full-time hours streaming. However, it is a lot of fun, so I'm going to keep doing this, and I'm going to keep trying my best to give you guys those regular uploads. So, sit tight, hope for the best, and believe. Because that's all I can ask. Alright, let's get rid of these hollows real quick. I don't usually like using shields to block and do that hit thing, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. In between the past episode, I was literally here for like 5 hours, because I've been like, not well. I've been trying to record while I was a little bit sick, and it just was not working at all. So, another good lesson, if you're ever going to do anything skillful, like related to any challenge runs, always remember that your health is important, and that's a huge, huge part of any, you know, big challenge run, is making sure your mental health is good, your physical health is good, and doing whatever you need to do to make sure that that stays that way. So, I'm considering some different ideas here. I don't think we're going to be able to get Red Tier Stone status super easily, so we're just going to jump right on in. And we'll keep the Red Tier Stone on in case I can somehow get it in the fight, which would be very useful. I'm actually going to heal up because of that. So let's see. Alright, so the butt slam, we're going to walk into the shockwave here. That actually is our Red Tier Stone setup. Very useful, very easy to get. Alright, so I switched over to a Jagged Ghost Blade. Now this is a weapon farmable from Nulando, from the ghosts, and it's a very, very low drop rate. The reason I'm going to be using in this fight is due to its bleed auxiliary. You may notice it takes roughly 4 swings to get a bleed, and that is super useful. It's basically 1 stamina bar, if done immediately and in a single flurry. Otherwise it will take anywhere from 5 to 6. But it's very quick and does not take much stamina at all, so it allows me a lot of flexibility here, which is exactly what I need for these huge AoEs. Enough stamina to sprint away, and then get right back in and get some extra hits. Push for that bleed. Well, that butt slam though, see, that's ideal. If you can get him in a butt slam loop, where he basically sits there and that's the only move he does, You just go in and out, get your hits, get out. Very clean fight. So that was actually Stray Demon down. That's another boss off of our list. And we're gonna go grab the doll so we can head over to Gwendolyn after that. So let's go grab that doll. I'm also gonna be, in this part, switching over to a Hornet's Ring. I'm not very good at parrying this guy. So we're gonna try though. I want to parry him. This is literally me taking this on, this unnecessary risk. Oh snap! That's how you do it. Feels good. Feels very good. I needed that. All right, so that coming off. Lightning Reinforced Club for now. The Peculiar Doll. We'll go ahead and take a little bit of a read. All right, Peculiar Doll. Where are you? Your key items. So let's take a read of this doll. A strange doll in a strange dress. There once was an abomination who had no place in this world. She clutched this doll tightly, then eventually was drawn into a cold and lonely, painted world. Foreshadowing! But no. That all said and done, we have no more reason to be in the asylum, so we're gonna be heading back to the bonfire, and I'll catch you guys there. And Orlando, in its true dark glory. So this next area is going to be a bit different from when we last came here. After slaying Guinevere, we have angered Gwendolyn, and we have brought on the twilight of Anne Orlando. Now, there's a few things that are different here. As you'll notice, the giant sentinels are all but gone, and the Knightess was no longer near the bonfire, as she is now aggressive towards us. Now, I'm going to do my best to not kill her. I simply want to lower the bridge, and if she happens to die, there's really not a lot I can do here. So we want her alive, though. We would like to have her alive if possible. And yeah, it looks like she's on the other side of the bridge. So let's see if we can sneak on through here. I'm actually going to throw on the Ring of Fog, just to make sure it's a little easier to go undetected. She is right over there. She's hard to see. Right there. Because sometimes she'll aggro and try to jump down with you and just end up throwing herself off a cliff, which does actually make things much more difficult in the long run. But alright, our next goal is Gwendolyn, so we're going to grab the bonfire down below and start getting at it. Gwendolyn being a very interesting fight, though, I gotta say. It's a fight that you never, like, I personally never really do anymore. It's just something I did once, and I was like, you know, that was cool. I've done it a few times in my, so in my all boss playthroughs, Soul Level 1, I've done 3 or 4 of them. One in New Game, one in New Game Plus, and then again in New Game Plus 7, and then the 4th time, excluding Calameets, was in New Game Plus 15 or 14. So it's been a very long time since we've had the pleasure to come visit Gwendolyn. So I'm very excited to kind of revisit a little bit about this dude. I don't really know a good way to get Red Tearstone here, so I'm going to try taking a little bit of fall damage on the bridge. And I'm going to see, we might have to do this every time, but death in here shouldn't be my biggest concern. He does not have much health. He takes a ton of damage from most melee weapons. So, as long as we can get close, evade well, we shouldn't have too much trouble. The Red Tearstone being the greatest, I'd say the biggest time consumption thing prior to the fight is going to be a lot of prep. But, you know, it's worth it. I find Red Tearstone to speed up the fights drastically, but I feel it also doesn't give too much, as you'll find a lot of Soul Level 1s using anything from, you know, crazy pyromancies like Power Within, using these great chaos fireballs, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. As always, I'm a very big advocate of playing the game however you want. You know, no one's way of playing the game is any more or less valid than yours, and vice versa. Yours is no more or less valid than anyone else's. So it's just a good thing to keep in mind. This challenge specifically involved no ranged, no magic, nothing crazy like that. So all I really have access to is the red tier stone. So it's a very restricted run with hyper mode, and I do die in one hit because of that from most anything. But here we go.
Thou offendest the Godmother, and now thou see fit to trample upon the tomb of the great Lord. I am the Dark Sun, Gwendolyn. Let the atonement for thy felonies commenceth.
And so begins the Hall of Mirrors, or so I like to call it. Dark Sun Gwendolyn. So this fight is essentially a matter of being very careful. You can sprint back and forth to dodge the arrows. The biggest thing you need to watch out for here does come down to these quick, very fast arrows. We're sneaking a huge R2 there. See if we can get a second one. Nice and clean. So, like I said, magic here is going to be our biggest enemy. The slow-moving orbs can catch you off guard. But there are the arrows. Oh my gosh. How many arrows in my crotch just happens? So we'll talk real quick about the 3 moves Gwendolyn has at their disposal. The first being the arrows that we saw that killed me last time. A very light homing, very fast, penetrating orb that is obviously easily, I dodged that one simply by going horizontally. And then you have next the homing orbs, which are very deadly, extremely deadly, and you just have to get behind cover as fast as you can. So one of the most dangerous combinations of these are when you see him do the slow-moving orbs, get you behind cover, you're sitting there waiting patiently, and then he throws the very fast-moving, penetrating orb right at you. So that'll go through the pillars, and is genuinely devastating. So that's really all you have to worry about in this fight. It's very straightforward other than that. Gonna be very careful here. Dodged that one very luckily. That really was not me, that was just me being lucky. Alright, so we need to get in there. Can we sneak an R2 in? Unfortunately not. But yeah, that's essentially the fight. There's not really a whole lot more to it. It's very straightforward, very easy. It's just a matter of paying attention and handling each situation as you most appropriately can. The tells in this fight, you can see he has a bit longer of a wind-up for his penetration orb, and we can go ahead and run back and forth as he's standing tall. That is the telegraph for when he's shooting his arrows. He'll just stand up on his snake legs. Very easy to remember. Alright, here we go. Standing up. Now I just find the easiest way to deal with that just to zigzag back and forth. It really is all it takes. Unfortunately, not enough stamina to get the final hit in, so we're going to go one more cycle. We stay far away for this one. Alright, here we go. So he's going to be shooting the arrows at us now. If you ever feel like you're not comfortable dodging anything in this fight, just hide behind a pillar and just do your best to get close, take your time, don't rush. And that's as simple as it is.
Oh, heretic, swathed in dark, an eternal curse upon thee.
Bada bing, bada boom. The Hall of Mirrors. Odd, isn't it? Ending just where we started. Seems much shorter now. And it's actually one of my favorite areas in the game. I'd say one of them. There is another one that I particularly adore, which is Ash Lake. An area we probably will not be visiting this playthrough, as I don't consider that Hydra an actual boss. It's more of a mini-boss, and it's really tedious to kill. I've done it many times. I'm just not a fan of it. So we got a Miracle Sunlight Blade from this chest. If you're ever wondering, where do you get that? It's right there. There we go. We see killed Gwendolyn 3 or so times. I don't even think I picked it up a couple times. Just 'cause I'm like, I don't need that. I already have 2 of them. And nothing in that chest, which has always been a mystery to me. I've never truly understood why there's just an empty chest. But maybe that's where they keep Dark Moon Blade. And there's the brass set. So, pretty straightforward. Great progress, actually. Really great progress. I'm really happy we've managed to get down both the Stray Demon and Gwendolyn this episode. So I'll catch you guys next time, where we'll be heading after Priscilla in the Painted Worlds. And if all goes smoothly, see if the scale is.